and welcome back to another episode of Should You Bake It? I am super excited, a little bit nervous about this one. Today we're reviewing Nick from the Scran line's Girl Scout Samoa Cupcakes. Two kind of reasons why I'm doing this one. One, you should go over and subscribe to him because he's doing a giveaway, super huge giveaway. I'll leave all of the links to all of his social medias down below, as well as all of the detailed descriptions for all of the ingredients that we're going to use today. They're all in grams. He also has a link in his blog and on his website about how to convert into cups as well. But we'll get into this one. So over here, I have already pre-made a batch of his amazing fluffy chocolate buttercream, and I'm leaving it out on the counter because I made it yesterday, so it's got to come to room temp. I also pre-made his chocolate sauce and put that in a squirt bottle. I've also pre-made his chocolate cupcakes that, as you can see, are incredible. They're fluffy, they're beautiful. One of the most amazing chocolate cupcake recipes I've ever made. And also over here, we have some shredded coconut, some chocolate chips. You can use dark semi-sweet milk. And we've also have some caramel bits that we're going to use later. We'll get into all of this later. This is going to be a second part. And over here we've got some flour, sugar, baking soda, and we've got some salt. And over here we've got some room temp butter, some milk, some clear vanilla, and we've got a few things. We've got some baking sheets lined with wax paper. We've got my trusty little owl spatula. We've got a wooden spoon, and we've got some cookie cutters here. Now this one's a cupcake core, but this one is a 1.5 inch cookie cutter that we're going to use for our Samoa cookies. And this one we're going to use to make the hole. And it took me a while to figure out which would look best in the middle, but this one I figure looked pretty darn perfect. So this is what I'm going to use. And then as far as tools go, like I said, the baking sheets. We're going to use a hand mixer and a giant bowl to combine everything. And this is going to be for the dough for the cookies. So we're going to get started for the cookies, and then we'll move on to the coconut caramel goodness for the top. So we'll get set up with our big bowl, and then we'll move on. Okay, first we're going to add our salt and our baking powder to our flour. And then we're going to mix with our whisk, and then we're going to set that aside, and then we'll move over to creaming our butter and our sugar with our hand mixer. Okay, so now we have our butter and our sugar into our big bowl, and we're going to start creaming this for about 2 minutes. Okay, so now that our butter and sugar is creamed to perfection, I must say, light, fluffy, and just stunning, we are going to add in our flour mixture, and you always want to remember to give this a good whisk before you add it, because you want to reincorporate the baking soda, baking powder, my bad, and the salt, so as it's not in one spot. And then we're going to go ahead and just sprinkle this on top, and then on low we are going to incorporate it so it doesn't poof in our faces. And then once that's mixed in, we will add in our vanilla. Okay, so I have my dough all made, and I have cut it in half, and I'm just going to grab it up and mold it. So what I'm going to do is I have 2 pieces of wax paper right here, and I have my rolling pin with a 1/4 inch measurement on it, and I'm going to stick it in the middle right here, ball it up, and I'm going to roll it out between the 2 pieces of wax paper to a 1/4 inch thickness, and then we're going to stick both halves in the fridge for an hour to chill, and then we'll come back and we'll punch them out into our cookies and we'll bake them. Ha! Okay, so while our cookie dough is in the fridge chilling, we are going to go ahead and toast our coconut, and we have our oven preheated to 300 degrees, and we're going to stick this in there for about 20 minutes. And we are just going to keep a close eye on it because it can toast pretty darn quick. So we're going to rotate it and flip it as needed, and we're going to take it out when it's nice and toasted evenly. Okay, so we have our shredded Okay, so we have our toasted coconut cooling to the side, and now we've pulled out our dough that is beautifully chilled. And I've got some powder over here in a cup that we're gonna dip our cutters into, and then we have our baking tray over here, and we have our offset spatula that we're gonna use to move our cookies once chomped out. So we're gonna go ahead and dip our cutters in, and that just helps it not to stick. And we're gonna go ahead and cut and twist a little bit. Ooh, that's nice. So we're gonna go ahead and start by cutting out our larger ones, and then we'll go back and cut out the circles in the middle. Okay, so I'm done cutting out all of my cookies, and I got 34 out of them. So I'm gonna stick them in the oven that I bumped up to 350, and I'm gonna cook them for about 10 to 12 minutes until the bottoms are lightly brown. Now I do have two different types of pans. One's a darker nonstick and one's obviously a lighter. So they are gonna bake at different times, so I'm just gonna keep my eye on them and then bring them out, like I said, once the bottoms are lightly brown. Okay, so we have our cookies over here cooling, and in this bowl we have our little caramels, which are so cute and squishy. Ooh. Ew. So we're gonna take our milk. We're gonna add our milk to our caramels and get all that out. And then we're going to add our salt. And then we're going to place this in the microwave for 3 to 4 minutes, and we're going to stop probably every 30 to 40 seconds and give us a good stir and make sure that it's warming evenly, and then we'll be back. Okay, so this is the second time I'm taking it out, and I'm just stirring it. Can I just tell you guys, I have a song for this? I'm going to tell them, Brittany.
Okay.
Flip and squash, flip and squash, flip and squash. Because these things are so much fun.
No, she was saying squitch, squitch, squitch. And she was just sitting there stabbing it. I was like, Mom, you have to put it back in the microwave.
Like this. And I have to tell you, there are so many amazing smells going on with this recipe. We've got the smell of what smells like amazing vanilla shortbread cookies over there. We've got a bowl of incredible toasted coconut, which, let me tell you, is one of my favorite smells. Coconut, when I was able to eat, was one of my favorite flavors, is coconut. And then we have these amazing flip and squash little caramels. And I've seen these in the store, and I'm like, what are you guys for? And I was like, get in the cart. I get to finally use you. I'm so excited. So now I'm like, squirch, 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 squirch. And I'm playing with it, so she had to yell at me to put it back in the microwave.
You're like a child. You're just playing with them when you had to put them back in the microwave before they cool down too much.
Oh.
Because the point is to melt them, not play with them.
Hey, you play with your food. I get to play when I bake.
Whatever.
Exactly. So, like I said, this is the second time of me taking it out and just mixing it.
Playing with it.
Yep, that too. So I have about 1:35 left. So after I play with this, mix it, whatever you want to say. Squarch, squarch, squarch. I'm going to put it back in there.
Thank you.
Okay, so our caramel is fully melted.
Yum.
After Brittany jumped in and played with it herself.
I have to tell you guys, it was fun. I played Flip and Scorch too.
Yep. So now we add in our toasted coconut. Introduce the two lovelies. And we fold that in. And then we're going to let this cool because it is a scorching high temperature and we will burn ourselves. So, after we fold this in, let it cool, and then we will top our Girl Scout Samoas with these bad boys.
Woo!
Yee. Okay, so our caramel coconut mixture has cooled, and I'm going to use about 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons per cookie and just go around and place it all around the edges, keeping the middle obviously clear. And then once we're done with that, then we'll move on to melting our chocolate and dipping the bottoms. Okay, so now that we have our Samoa cupcake or cookies topped with our coconut caramel, and we have cored our cupcakes, we are going to fill the center of our cupcakes with the remaining caramel coconut mixture. And then we'll start putting everything together after we've got our chocolate melted too. Okay, so now we have all of our cupcakes filled to the brim with our goo. And now we're going to dunk the bottoms of these in the melted chocolate. So we're just going to dunk the them as best as we can. I know Nick used tongs, but the sides are so sticky, so I'm kind of worried about that. So I'm going to try this and see how it works. And then I might use tongs. Wipe it off and then set it on the tray. Okay, so we have all of our cupcakes done in the double donut swirl with the Wilton 6B tip, which is also the French tip. And we have our chocolate sauce that we have already pre-made. So we are going to drizzle that over the side. Ooh. As beautifully as Nick does. And we are going to grab one of our cookies from our chocolate. Ah, so much chocolate. And we're gonna take our Samoa, stick it in the middle.
Oh my gosh.
And there we have it, our Girl Scout Samoa cupcake.
How cute.
And we're gonna go ahead and, like Nick does, we're gonna cut down the middle. I'll hold the cookie. I have a feeling it's gonna fall.
Probably.
Cut it open and see what we have. We have our filling that goes all the way down. If my knife will get out of there.
Oh, it's caramel sticking to it.
Yep, taking the caramel with it.
Oh, dang it.
There's the caramel. There's the cookie. There we go. There is our Girl Scout Samoa cupcake from Nick from the Scran line. Like I said, I will leave all of his descriptions and his links down below for you to go see. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Sorry, it's been a while. But thank you guys again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.